It is prediction time, ladies and gentlemen, and today we are of course looking at the upcoming chapter, which has been translated into various names such as Evil Dragon, Dragon Demon, or whatever more there may be, but I am taking my guess on Dragon Demon as that seems to be more fitting than any of the alternate titles that we've heard of. So Dragon Demon is what exactly? Well, let's predict. Firstly, I want to bring up the idea that what we might be seeing is two possible scenarios when it comes to Natsu and Zeref, and I'm a bit 50-50 on which it's going to be, like I actually cannot decide. So the first one is actually more commonly believed, which is the fact that Natsu is going to transform. This would be pretty fitting if the title is in fact Dragon Demon, as he's one of the demons created by Zeref, but also right now he's using elements of both Dragon Slayer and Demon. So we might witness a pretty epic transformation from Natsu, which could be something similar to what we've seen in Dragon Cry, but I'm not sure. I mean, that would imply that Dragon Cry is actually canon, which I'm personally not against, but realistically speaking, I honestly don't believe it to be the case. But if we're looking at a brand new transformation, then things could get pretty wild, as then it would most likely become a more hybrid looking form, and by that I mean something like a form which is both dragonized, much like in the Dragon Cry film, but also a form that really gives off the vibes of a demon. We've seen numerous demons throughout the series, all of which are creations of Zeref, so there might be similar design to that, but I think it's gonna be more of a form that's put together with a dragon looking form. That's the hybrid. Such a form would be pretty crazy looking in theory, and just the mental image of it blows my mind. I mean, it's okay if you think this arc is bad, but there's no way you can look down on the potential which this fight with Zeref can provide if done right, let alone Natsu's new form. The second thing about this chapter that I think could happen regarding Natsu is that what we are currently looking at is actually E.N.D. Now visually this wouldn't be as epic, but I think I would prefer this simply because I want Natsu to be Natsu, you know. I don't want him to need some crazy ass form to compete with his brother, even if that may be what it takes. I think that if E.N.D is just a power up, then it'll be more consistent with what Fairy Tail is supposed to be. Fairy Tail is not Dragon Ball, crazy visual transformations aren't needed to make it worthwhile, so I think that if this is more of a mental state or an internal power up, while Natsu is still himself on the outside, then that'll be a lot better. That's of course my personal opinion, but also a pretty good guess, and I say this is a good guess because at the very end of chapter 527 we got a pretty interesting clue, which is when Zeref referred to Natsu first as his name, which is of course just Natsu, and then Zeref quickly changed his mind and called him E.N.D. Now this doesn't have to mean that what we see is E.N.D, but it very well could, and that's why I brought this idea up, because since the seeds are no more, it's possible that the transformation no longer exists, and that it's more about his power as well as where his mind is at. So of course E.N.D could still be a thing, even an evil one. But Zeref did say that for humanity to live on, Natsu must die, and I think that's as simple as Natsu must die in order to E.N.D to take his place, so that E.N.D can then in turn fight Acnologia. Okay, so that's Natsu and Zeref, but there's one small matter I wanna talk about as well. This matter is Mavis and her plan to kill Zeref, because she said that she had a plan to kill Zeref, which at least includes Natsu. We can probably assume it includes Lucy as well though, seeing as way back when they were fighting Jacob, Mavis saw something when Natsu and Lucy fought Jacob and said to herself that she had found a way to defeat Zeref. So I think we may get some more insight on that, but I guess we just have to wait and see. Well, that'll do it for this week's prediction. Let me know what you think down below in the comments, and as always, if you did, please like this video if you enjoyed and subscribe if you're new to my channel. See you soon.